Today we'll be mastering sentence patterns. Sentence patterns are the arrangement of words and its functions in a sentence to create a meaningful statement. Two benefits of this are number one, enhance your grammar. Second is to augment or improve your writing. And I'll elaborate that later on. But before we can master this, there's a prerequisite, and that is that you should have mastered your parts of speech. Now, let's pause and take this simple sentence as a practice or an example. Now, who could identify what does each word represent here in the part of speech? All right, so William is what part of speech? Noun. What would be a verb? Dana would be another noun. Flower be a noun. How about a? This is what we call article. Specifically, it is an indefinite article. So each word represents a part of speech, but when you place it in a sentence, it will or may change its function. What do I mean by that? Say, for example, these. Okay, noun here, still a noun, but what is its function in the sentence? It will serve as a what? A subject in here. This is who is talked about. Who is it about? That's William. Verb here will still be a verb. And noun here, Shayna, would be an object, specifically an indirect object. I'll explain that later. Flower here as well is also an object, but a direct object. Explain that as well later on. And here, this article, what is its function here? Basically, it describes the flower. It's not the flower, but a flower, one of the flowers. Since it describes a noun, so what is its function here? It functions as an adjective. So the goal is try to find the main elements in your sentence, like the subject and the verb and the objects here, and the rest are simply modifiers. If I add here, William bought his wife China, his wife there would be an adjective of the word China. Now let's elaborate that further. Again, so you need to master first the parts of speech. All right, so a basic sentence is split into two parts, subject and a predicate. A subject is what and who is it about? A predicate, that's obvious, it's the subject is William. Predicate is the information about that subject. It could be what that subject do or what is that subject, simply defining who or what that is. All right, but the predicate is further split into many parts, and that's what we call now sentence patterns. So each word represents part of speech, and each word represents a function, and when you arrange those functions, it will be your sentence patterns. So, when you look at a sentence, the first thing you need to find is the subject. Who or what is it about? Basically, it's about William. And then the second thing you need to find is the verb. That is the action of that subject. That would be bought. Again, your main goal is, at least there are three main parts. You have the subject, the verb, and an object. It should be indirect and direct, either or both. So we need, you have those two now. Now, another important element is the direct object. That is the receiver of the action. What is bought? How do you find this? And it's easy, it's a flower. It's easy to answer this or to find this. Simply do this formula. So you verb plus what. So where's the verb? Bought, right? So what you will do is to add plus in here. So plus what? So William bought plus what? A flower. And that would be your direct object. That direct object is the receiver of the verb. Next would be the indirect object. The indirect object is the receiver of the direct object. So bought receives the flower, flower who receives the flower. It's Shane. So that if the direct object is the receiver of the action, indirect object is the receiver of the direct object. So simply put, bought for whom and to whom, that would be shine or Shane. All right. And then that's our sentence pattern in there. You have the subject, verb, indirect object, and direct object. And the rest of the words there are simply modifiers. So we have a remaining word here, a, so that is a modifier of flower, and that will be an adjective in there. So how is it important to enhance your writing? All you need to do is create a simple sentence with a subject, verb, and object. Then add adjectives and adverbs in your sentence or simply modifiers, and you will make a flowery and flourishing sentence in that sense. Do you have any question? Now let's, so the pattern here is SVIODO.